and therefore that's why we have things like equalizers in place. I forget. Do you do positive or negative first? Okay, I don't want to die, so I'm gonna pause here. You can't tell my car is an issue today. I mark a different type of adventure where I am trying to charge my car using a battery powered charger I got from Amazon, which will be a topic we'll get into a little bit later. So as we speak, I currently have it charging. I was hoping to get the freaking flashlight to work, but it won't come on, which concerns me because as it charges, it looks like we have a chance here, but I don't know. So Amazon is going to be a topic today, as will Target, and really any other company that has removed their support for DEI from their company programs. Which again, it's odd to me that a company like, let's say Target, for example, who staunchly and goes hard every year to support blacks, right, with their black clothing lines, or getting not black, not that they have a black clothing line, but rather they'll bring in black fashionistas and black fashion designers and have them design lines for sale at Target, right? And then they'll put up all the initiatives. They'll put out all the gay rights flags. They'll put up all the stuff they need to virtue signal that they are a company that cares about diversity and cares about people who aren't necessarily on the front lines constantly when you think about the general person. If you want to read into that, they really do virtue signal really hard, and that's one thing to remember. These companies don't actually care about you. All they care about is money and what's popular at the time. Whatever the populace rolls with, that's how they're going to roll. So do not trust these companies. And what sucks and what's hard for me is that I love some of these companies. Not because they, make sweet love to me, but because, I have a lot of, nostalgia for them. I think back when I was a kid and going to Target and being so wild and excited and thinking, man, this is way better than that dirty Walmart I used to go to. You know what I mean? It's hard because it's almost a sense of separation because you're used to it being part of your life. Like when I need something, right? What do? I get on my phone and I hit up Amazon and I put in some info and I go, yo, I need diapers right now. I don't have a child. I just need diapers. Don't worry about that. Anyway, I'm just saying like you literally find yourself like almost with these companies interwoven into your daily and regular life, right? And I just heavily struggle with giving them up. Same thing can be said really, really, really hard for even Target, which I mentioned previously. Because Target is like, okay, when Amazon don't got it, Target might. Or when I need it, but I can't wait for it to get delivered, I run the Target. You know what I mean? My life is about to become a way, way, way less convenient. You know what I mean? I might spend more money in the onset. Oh God. What about, oh crap. Oh Lord. Okay, I'm gonna let y'all into some real stuff right now. So I came in here real quick in a hurry, didn't look down, didn't take off my shoes, and I got mud all up on my white-ish carpet. I say white-ish because I know it's not white. So we got to clean that. That's got to be a thing before we even go outside and handle the car. Okay, fantastic. You get to watch me get on my knees and clean. Pause. All right, hold on. That's damn. Can't believe I did that. You know what works really well, surprisingly, for cleaning? I learned over the last few years of being an adult. What about you later? Is Dawn Power Spray. This stuff is freaking magical. Not a sponsor. I really hope that Dawn, or whoever makes Dawn, sort of company attached to this, PNG. I hope PNG does not get rid of their DEI programs because we might have some issues. But yeah, that's it's dirt. So the trick is you don't want to rub it into the carpet. If you don't know that, you've probably never been a middle-aged housewife. But you don't want to rub it into the carpet. I'm about to clean this thing for real. This sucks. I can't believe I did this. You want to almost blot out the dirt. Okay, that should actually work well. And this cover's probably overdue for a cleaning anyway. Get the fringes. You know what's funny? As you guys know, a lot of you guys may not. Maybe you don't know. I am divorced. So I am used to being domesticated. I know that a lot of dudes be like, yo, that's cool, some dirt, dog, don't worry about it. But the truth is that I want to walk in my apartment and not feel like I live in a trash heap or like in a filth zone. So I do try to make sure I keep things as clean as I can. All right, I think that's gonna be good for now, for my purposes, and then I'll just scoop up this dirt. I swear, if I have children, I'm gonna make sure I really train and raise them to go, if you make a mess, just clean it. Don't walk away, don't run away, don't ignore it. Just clean it. I spent a lot of my life like not worried about this kind of stuff. And now that I'm older and I own things, I feel so much differently about it. All right. All right. Thank you for your patience. I appreciate you for waiting. All right. Let's get outside and see what happens. But where were we? Okay, so DEI, essentially. So, I am not making the marker that DEI is end all be all. And I am a big fan of the concept of, instead of getting rid of something that's not working or getting rid of something that maybe has struggled in their messaging, to revamp it, to make it better, make it more effective. I've been talking with a lot of friends recently who, are like applauding. I want to call them friends at this point, associates, who are applauding the removal of DEI because they don't want to make white people feel bad. They're making white people feel bad for something they didn't do. And I'm like, my guy, I get it that you weren't there. You were not part of the reason we need DEI. And I feel bad that you get thrown in. I always say this all the time. I feel bad for like straight white dudes. Straight white dudes get the short end of the stick socially, or at least they were for a while. And I think it's kind of like led to this interesting upheaval of people going, well, screw it, you don't support us? Let's go with everything you care about. And I think that is part of the issue, is there has been a very stark fight against white, right? And now white is fighting back, and people are upset about it. But I'm like, I almost get why they're fighting back. I do. Like, they feel like they've been basically treated as if because they're white and they're straight, they're the enemy. And now they, have a president that champions them. So I get it. I really do. I don't, like, I always get this. I don't want to die here. But it's going to be interesting. All right. And I really do. I get it. But at the same time, it's like, you have a natural advantage, like it or not. You have a natural advantage that the rest of us do not have. And therefore, that's why we have things like equalizers in place. I forget, do you do positive or negative first? Okay, I don't want to die. So I'm going to pause here and confirm if I put in the positive or negative charges. I don't want to be dumbing down this camera. So we'll pause here and we'll come back to the conversation. I swear, y'all, Google and ChatGPT better not get rid of any DEI programs. I don't know if ChatGPT even has any. But, all right, it says you always do the red first and then the black, which, nope, there's no original component to that. All right, here we go. So red first. Okay. Yeah. And then negative. What does that mean? I don't know what beeping means. It didn't beep last time I did this. All right, here we go. I don't know if that's good or bad. No luck. All right. What's the beeping mean? don't know what that means. All right. This is embarrassing. Let's try this one more time. I'm gonna do a little research and find out why the beeping is occurring, and see what I can do. This didn't work correctly. I don't know. Maybe I have to charge it longer. I don't know. Maybe it's just not. It's not enough of it. Let's see. But yeah, y'all. I don't know. Hold on. I'll be back. All right. Word on the street is the beeping means I need to charge this more. It's not fully charged. Okay, that sucks. All right, so my life has just got way more complicated and a little bit more, I guess, I don't know, interesting. So I'm gonna need to, actually, wait, I'm doing this dumb. I am not living life correctly right now. I can't even say that right. I'm not living life correctly right now. All right, so for right now, I need to get my keys and go from there. Oh no, I'm dumb. God, the keys are in my pocket, aren't they? Yep, they're in my pocket. Okay. Well, friends, we'll come back to this momentarily. All right, let me go put this on the charger, and I'll run my other errands by foot. It'll take me a little bit longer, maybe an hour longer, but we'll spend some time together, and we'll get into this bigger topic of DEI, which again I touched on previously in another vlog. It's essentially, for me, in my opinion, DEI is seen as an equalizer, right? A way to make things even in a world that isn't even. And the thing is, I've had conversations with friends who've kind of pushed back. They're like, well, like these programs have gone too far, or F Whitey, kill the white CEO. And I'm like, here's the thing, that's your conjecture speaking. No, Luigi, in my opinion, not my opinion, factually, Luigi, who killed the CEO of that banking corporation, or sorry about banking, hospital corporation or insurance corporation. I don't think it was justified. I think that was a murder. It was a murder. And he was wrong to do what he did. But at the same time, people can, look at it and go, well, he essentially helped kill people by not signing over these policies. And the thing is, if you know how corporations work, it's not that simple. That one CEO can't save those lives. There are boards and committees that vote on things, and there's decorum for it all, and it's just not that easy. It's not that simple. It's just not, like it or not. All right, I'm gonna go charge this up. I wish it was that simple, but it's not. So he committed a murder. He was wrong. Because an eye for an eye is not a solution. That's why I don't believe in the death penalty. I don't think that because you killed somebody or raped somebody or did anything bad to someone that you or we get to play God and decide that you have to die. But that's just my opinion. I'm not saying I'm 100% right, but I am saying that I think that there are good, honest people out here who are trying to fight the good fight and really do believe in standing on business and supporting all people, right? Those people exist. And some of them are CEOs. Some of them are heads of corporations. Some of them wanted to change the world with their vision and then got roped into kind of the politics of how to make it, how to stay in your position, how to keep your job. Because after a while, your job isn't just about fighting the fight. Your job is about, frankly, feeding your family, And once you get to a certain revenue level, then it's about, maintaining your lifestyle you've built for yourself. And it becomes a cycle where you, almost lose yourself to it. And I'm not giving that guy any kind of, leeway. I'm just saying, the situation in hand and how things can happen. But ultimately, to me, the defense of, well, these people didn't deserve what happened to them and all these things. I agree. I don't think that people should be targeted for things that they frankly can't fully control. They shouldn't be targeted for things that they had nothing to do with. But I will say, though, that when you hear a candidate for president run under these kind of thoughts and you still vote for that person, that's where you lose me. That's where the issues begin. You know, like you literally heard him say he was going to do some of this stuff. Like, he was standing on what he believed in. And you heard him. And you were like, you know what? I don't care. I'm going to vote anyway because I don't like Kamala because she's weird or she's dumb or she laughs weird. I mean, it was the weirdest smearing campaign I personally ever witnessed, where they are actively just telling you this person is weird, don't vote for them. Not because they make claims and allegories that align themselves with dictators, but because they laugh funny. And again, I will tell you this right now, I was no big fan of Kamala. I was no big fan of Trump. But when someone's telling you they're going to do things like give the police immunity, I can't honestly tell you that I want to sit down and support them. I can't. Because as a black person, I know I'm going to be unfairly targeted. And any black person, colored person you know will be unfairly targeted. And that creates an overarching issue for me personally. And then the people I care about and love who maybe, I'll be honest, like, I do well for myself. I make good money, I'm affluent, everything else. I don't have as much to worry about as some of my other brethren. They're still my brethren. They're still my people. I'm not an immigrant. I'm in this country legally, but I still fight for their rights. I'm not an undocumented immigrant either, right? But I still fight for their rights because the fact is they are still people who engrave themselves in our community. They are helping, they are contributing to society. And the people were telling me that, like, well, I want people out of here who are out here committing all the crimes, all the murders. And I go, the thing is, though, if you really look at the numbers, let's be real here, guys. Crime has gone down substantially in areas where immigration has become a thing because they don't want to get deported. They don't want to get deported. So they're not going to commit crimes. They're not out here raping people and murdering people in mass. They're not doing it because they don't want to get caught. I'm not even making that. That's just factual numbers you can look up on your own. So this whole idea of vilifying them and making them into monsters is very akin to what they did to black people, post-slavery, even obviously even during slavery, to make us seem like others, make us seem like we're not humans, make us seem like we're not people with personalities and families and people we care about. I get it. There needs to be rules that are followed, right? But some rules are wrong, right? And if you're escaping an atrocity, like, imagine that you are living in a war-torn nation where everything is crumbling around you. You have no money, you're poor, you're suffering, you're dying. People around you are dying, people you love are gone. They're decimated. Are you going to stay there? Or are you going to seek help in the closest nation to you, which is America? We can go and you can thrive and have a good life. That's what these people want. I get it. You want to make them go through the proper circumstance, make them go through the programs, right? But those programs take years sometimes to even enact. I helped a friend actually gain his citizenship status, right? He was an immigrant, actually from Ireland, I'll be real with you. And I helped him stay in this country. Not because, I have this giant soft spot for everybody, but fact is, I just know that he was a good person who just wanted to be here to do good things. And again, he had an easier path than most people. Maybe because, he's from Ireland, but even more so, I don't know. I just think the program is weighed heavily in people that speak English and can assimilate, a little bit better. And so if you are one of those immigrants that are looked at as like, the enemy, please understand that the majority of Americans do not follow the beliefs of this president, and the majority of Americans want to support you and see you thrive in our communities and contribute, and become part of us, because you are us, let's be real, you are us. Like, the American dream is built on the backs of immigration. The American dream is built on the backs of people that came to this country legally and illegally and by force. Keep that in mind. You know what I mean? Like, just keep that in mind. There's a Bible verse, I think Matthew 25:40. I'm not a scholar, I just went to Bible school, so don't fully quote me on that. But there's a Bible verse, right? And that Bible verse speaks to treating the lesser of people like you would Jesus, right? So if you're going to treat someone like an other, treat someone like they are less than you, if someone is poor or fighting for their rights and just want to be, happy and live a normal life, you should be in support of them. You should be helping them. But then again, people go, well, you can't have laws and they only apply to some people but not others. I go, I feel you. But remove your proper circumstance from it all. If that person was in your family, your child, your friend, someone you care about, you will feel for them and you will fight for them. Wasn't the law of the land at one point to not harbor slaves? And you know what happened? A lot of white people who didn't agree with slavery harbored slaves and helped them to find freedom, helped them to hide in plain sight when they were coming after them with dogs. And now the president has said it's okay to go after these people in schools and churches, and that means they can now go after children. Come on, man. Who's on the right side here? Because I keep hearing people who are, I guess I'll call them Republicans, I don't know, and they keep saying the same thing. Well, we got to protect our own. We got to take care of our own people. We got to make sure we good. What Christian is selfish like that and only looking out for themselves? If you're not a Christian, all good. It's your prerogative. But a lot of these people I know are calling themselves Christians. A lot of these people who talk about that went to my college with me. Went to Bible school, and they talk that talk. They want to justify it because they're scared, because they've been I guess falling to the fear mongering. It's fear mongering. They literally try to make anyone that doesn't look like them, that didn't come from this country originally, seem like a monster or an evil person. And they keep saying, they dropped 30,000 rapists and criminals into our midst. That is fear mongering. Because the thing is, they're not telling you is those numbers as they're portrayed, as they're marketed, it's marketing. Keep in mind, Trump is a businessman. He knows how to market. As it's marketed, they're skewing the numbers. I work in marketing. I know they do. I worked in advertising for like 2.5 years, and then I worked in a couple more agencies. So maybe like over 5 years I've been in advertising. And in advertising, they will take a number and they'll purposely mislead you. Okay? To make you think it means something else. So that number they're talking about, that number spans over the years. It's not like one day they dropped in 30,000 criminals and rapists. Over the years, there have been that many people coming in through immigration, right? Illegal immigration. But the majority of the people that were dropped into this country, the majority of the people that are in this country that are illegally here, let's just say what it is, they're undocumented, are not murderers or rapists. The vast majority. Literally, it's like, if you want to do that, then we shouldn't have white people on the streets, because white people commit the majority of those crimes. They're just gonna throw it out there. The majority of white people are the ones committing those exact crimes. Sorry, I said that wrong. Not the majority of white people, but the majority of the people committing those crimes are white people. So if you're gonna do that, what are we doing? You gotta be fair, right? Try and be fair. Or you can look at it for what it is and actually look into the data. Don't just take these numbers or like watch Fox News or watch whatever you're watching and run with the initiatives that's being thrown out there. Because I'll say this too. Like, you know how Trump during the election was posting things about how Fox News was dumb and bad because they didn't carte blanche support him? Now that he won, I guarantee you that you will not hear him say that ever again. I guarantee it. Because now that they won, they're like, oh shoot, we got a chance to get some ratings, y'all. Ooh, let's get it. So now they're going back into fully supporting Trump. And I guarantee you, as long as you support him, he will not speak ill of you. But the second you say anything that goes against him, he will denounce you. He will ridicule you. He'll make fun of you. He'll turn on you, because there is no loyalty here. It's all about, who do you love? Who do you support? What are you doing for me lately? And I know I'm not wrong. You've all seen it. We've all seen it. The revolution will be televised. I say that because we live in an age of social media. And I don't think for a second that anybody that stands on business, anybody that can't support any atrocities happening. Again, Trump erased history. He's going in and removing statutes, I think as far as back as the 1960s, 1950s, that were meant to help people not be discriminated against. Help people to get a leg up in this world that are brown, black, yellow, and otherwise. And women too. And he got rid of it. Like carte blanche. We need common sense. We need to make sure that we're all even. We need to make sure that, we're all, it's color blindness here in this country. And that's bull, bro. Color blindness is the most dangerous thing you can be in this country. You have to acknowledge race. You have to acknowledge differences. You have to acknowledge systemic racism. You have to acknowledge the things that are really happening in this country and will continue to happen. Because right now, what you're telling us is just to believe that people aren't racist anymore. You have to tell us to believe that people will now hire fairly and it won't be on merit of race, right? They'll be on merit instead of race. So like if you get two people coming in and they're both equally qualified, right? You're not gonna just choose your own and pick the white guy, right? Because again, the point of most of these initiatives is to give people a leg up who normally are not represented properly or even remotely in these situations. I've been in corporate America my entire career. I'm telling you right now, I don't walk into a room and there's a bunch of other black people who are just not qualified, but they got the job. You know what I mean? Like that's not a thing. I'm always the only one. Currently in the company I'm at right now, I am the only black person. It's wild to say that, but I'm the only one. In fact, let me tell you guys on something a little bit even deeper than that. I have 2 full-time jobs working remotely, okay? Guess what? At both companies, I'm the only black person. Both of them. Both of them. And I have been consulting for the last 12 years, and I jump around a lot. I've been at maybe 2 companies where I was not vastly the minority. Vastly. So please believe that in corporate America, they are not out here carte blanche hiring people who are not good for the roles. I've been let go from roles I was not good in. It's not a gimme or a free game. Like, I'm sorry that some people maybe had a bad experience, but that's not the reality. Not for the majority of us. I don't know. I mean, I have a lot to say about this stuff, man, you know? I just really do feel like at the end of the day, we gotta do what's right, even if it's not right for us individually, you know? And maybe the world will change, maybe I'm wrong, but right now, I'm just telling you right now, I stand on business. I'll give you guys a little bit of an allegory for me. So my parents met in a campaign for the first black mayor of Chicago, Harold Washington. My mother worked at DCFS for the city. That's Department of Children and Family Services, right? My mom helped women who were battered and abandoned by men find solace, right? So I was raised with that in mind. Also, my father marched with Martin Luther King during the Civil Rights Movement. My dad, if you guys have heard my podcast, go check it out. Black Man Answers Cosmo, and there's a couple episodes with my dad. My dad tells his stories that he experienced firsthand as a black man. My father is currently 84 years old, going on to 85. So he was there for all of that. He lived through some of the worst parts of humanity for a black person, right? And I was raised with that in my blood. I was raised with that in my heart, that you can't stand by while people who are good and just and kind are being treated like dogs and animals, being treated like others. And again, stripping away rights, because the good thing is that there's laws in place right now to protect the general worker, the general person, right? But Trump is starting at a federal level, going after DEI, federal level, going after racial discrimination and sexual discrimination and whatnot, right? He's starting at federal level. But I'm sure he'll find a way to tackle it at a lower level too. And again, these companies are following suit. That's where we got places like Target and Amazon that are dismantling their programs. And for a lot of black people, a lot of colored people, that's a problem. And while it might make our lives more inconvenienced, I do think that there's a level in which we can't support these companies like we used to. The issue though is that, to be real with you, we're not the majority of their constituents. We're not the majority of the people that give them their dollars. So you always hear people say like, hey, let's hit them in their pocketbooks. Let's hit them where it counts. Because these companies literally will do whatever they can to get your money. They don't really have souls. They don't care. They really don't care. They'll do whatever they have to do to get your money. They'll be, yo, you know what? Hey, it's cool to be gay. I love gay. Gay's great, right? But then the nation changes, go, gay's wrong. Like, you know what? Yeah, that's right. Gay's wrong. I hate that. Right? Like, that's how these companies work. They move in ways to make sure they make the most amount of profit. Like, some companies do try their best to be like, philanthropic and give back. But I'll tell you that if they're not making any money, they won't stay in business. So they're doing what they got to do. And it's awful. You know what I mean? So you just can't trust these companies. So for me, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get rid of my Facebook. I don't really use Facebook anyways, I don't care, right? And then I'm like, I gotta get rid of my Instagram. Ooh, that one stings, right? But then also on top of that, I have an Oculus, right? And that means if I get rid of my Meta, I can't play games anymore on my Oculus. Oh God, right? But at the same time, it's like, what is more important to me? Playing games, entertaining myself, experiencing things like that, or fighting for what's right? But will me not using my Oculus anymore, will me not being on Facebook, will me not being on Instagram make a big difference? Time will tell. Again, I'm not denying the black dollar. I'm not denying the revolution, but it needs to be organized. Like, we need to have mass amounts of people agreeing to get rid of this stuff and really handing them where it counts. Because the thing is, Facebook was already a dying platform, right? Instagram has managed to, to make it work, on a similar backing. But I don't know. I don't know what the most impactful thing to do is, without entirely, hindering my lifestyle. Because I'll say it again. I'll admit it. I'm a slave to convenience. No pun intended. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like that I can get on Amazon and order something, I'll be here in 2 hours. I like that I can get on Amazon and order something, I'll be here in a day. I like that when I'm in a pinch, I don't have to run out to the store and do it. I can do it from the comfort of my own home. There are other companies. But, I don't know. We're almost like locked into them now because they're just part of our society. And, or at least my part of society where, you're affluent, you have money, you can spend it. You know what I mean? And it's gonna be a shift. But any company that is dissolving DEI tells me that they never cared in the first place. They never cared at all. And it's sad. And again, I've been a member of a DEI board. Bro, I helped in a thing called Disabilities, where it was people who were disabled, right? And weren't getting fair treatment in the workplace, or they were disabled, so they were looked at as if they were not viable candidates for hire. So I was part of that board to help support that. And that's a DEI initiative that people are not thinking about, that's being removed. You know what I mean? Like, people discriminate on other things than just color. And when you realize that, it opens up the world to a different set of challenges. I wanted this vlog to be funny. But there's nothing funny about what's happening right now. And I'm not trying to make a vlog every week about race or politics, but that's just what's in my heart right now. So maybe next time I'll talk about video games. Or anime. I watched a new one, Sakamoto Days, that I'm really excited to dig into. But anyway, all right, I'm gonna go to the store, run these errands, and hopefully by the time I get back, my car battery will be charged. The charger for my battery will be charged, and I'll be ready to go. But we'll see. All right, y'all. Peace. Oh yeah, ever use teleport? You know what I mean? Like the video, subscribe, all that good stuff. Unless you're racist. I just made it back from the grocery store. I spent about $114, and I got a lot of groceries because Jewel Osco is my homeboy. There's even groceries in this bag. But I wanted to come back real quick just to say, I am almost inclined to start doing a thing that is questionable morally. But I don't care, because screw that. Y'all don't care about morals, right? So I'm immediately thinking that what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to start ordering things from Amazon and returning them. And it's going to hurt the bottom line every single time, because then they have to sell it at a reduced price back to somebody else. I don't know. I just kind of feel like, screw y'all. I don't give a F no more. Let's crash out. So if I'm buying something on Amazon, if I even do anymore, I'm returning it. I don't care what it is. I ain't spending no more money, but I'm going to get mine. But I think they also have a program where if they find out that you're returning more things than you buy, they shut down your ability to return. But at that point, I'll just stop using it. So I don't know. It's just a thought. But what creative ways can you guys think of to fight back against Amazon, Target, and other companies doing DEI? I'm talking about creative ideas, not just like, I'm not going to use it anymore. I'm going to boycott. No, what's your creative idea for striking back at these corporations? Throwing it out there for you. Have fun.